Hey guys, Sam from Sweetcorn Man back with another video. Sorry that I haven't uploaded in a while. I was kind of busy, but I'm able to start uploading again. And I know that we just had an election and that the race was called for Biden. But, so first of all, I think the election might be going to court. And second of all, elections can be incorrectly called. For example, in 2000, they called the race for Al Gore early on. So I just want to wait till everything is final, if it goes to court, until the case is settled in court, and until the electors vote in the Electoral College. But today I'm going to be talking about the presidential election of 1840, and the Sweetcorn History segment in this video will be on the constitutional succession crisis of 1841. The presidential election of 1840 lasted from October 30th, 1840 to December 2nd, 1840. There were 294 members of the Electoral College, and 148 electoral votes were needed to win. For the Democratic Party, President Martin Van Buren of New York chose to run for re-election, as every president before him had. Van Buren, although not very popular, was not opposed by anybody else in the party for the nomination. The candidates for the vice presidential nomination were Vice President Richard Johnson of Kentucky and Governor of Tennessee James Polk. Many Democrats disliked Johnson, feeling he neglected his duty as vice president. The Democratic National Convention was held from May 5th, 1840 to May 6th, 1840 in Baltimore, Maryland. As expected, Van Buren was renominated without difficulty. However, the Democrats were unable to nominate a vice president, as although Van Buren supported Johnson's renomination, many Democrats opposed him. The candidates were Martin Van Buren for president and no candidate for vice president. They failed to nominate a candidate. For the Whigs, due to the unpopularity of Van Buren, the Whigs were confident in their election chances. The candidates for president were U.S. Senator Henry Clay of Kentucky, former Minister to Grand Columbia, William Harrison of Ohio, and Major General in the U.S. Army Winfield Scott of New Jersey. The candidates for vice president were U.S. Representative John Bell of Tennessee, U.S. Senator John Crittenden of Kentucky, former U.S. Senator John Tyler of Virginia, and former U.S. Senator Willie Mangum of North Carolina. The Whig Party wanted a Southerner to balance the ticket and attract votes from disaffected Democratic Southerners. Bell, Crittenden, and Mangum all were reluctant and eventually declined. Tyler, however, was willing. The Whig National Convention was held from December 4th, 1839 to December 8th, 1839 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. At the convention, Henry Clay gained the most votes but failed to gain a majority of the delegates. The result for the first ballot was 57 votes for Scott, 94 votes for Harrison, and 103 votes for Clay. As such, the delegates cast a second ballot with the same results. A third ballot was cast where a few Clay and Harrison supporters backed Winfield Scott. The results were 68 votes for Scott, 91 votes for Harrison, and 95 votes for Clay. Once again, although he gained the most votes, Clay did not reach a majority. The fourth ballot had the same result. A fifth ballot was cast, and a candidate finally won a majority. Scott won 16 votes from New Jersey and Connecticut. Clay won 90 votes from Rhode Island, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Kentucky, Missouri, North Carolina, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Harrison won the nomination with 148 votes from Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. John Tyler won the vice presidential nomination with 231 votes. 23 delegates declined to vote. As such, the Whig ticket was William Harrison for president and John Tyler for vice president. Henry Clay blamed his loss on Winfield Scott and actually struck him in the shoulder where he had been wounded during the War of 1812. However, the two were eventually able to reconcile. In 1839, the Nullifier Party had been dissolved, with its members mostly joining the Democratic Party. The anti-Masonic Party was dying by the time of the election. Most of its members had joined the Whig Party. The anti-Masons simply supported Whig William Harrison for president, but supported U.S. Senator Daniel Webster of Massachusetts for vice president as opposed to John Tyler. The Liberty Party had been founded during the election. The Liberty Party was the third party in the United States. The Liberty Party was the first party in the United States to advocate for the abolition of slavery. The Liberty Party was made up of former members of the American Anti-Slavery Society, but left due to the society's opposition to the United States Constitution. The Liberty Party believed the Constitution to be an anti-slavery document. The party nominated former member of the Kentucky House of Representatives James Birney for president and journalist Thomas Earl of Pennsylvania for vice president. The Whigs took advantage of Van Buren's unpopularity. The Harrison campaign painted Martin Van Buren as an aristocratic snob who only cared for his luxury and paid no attention to the suffering of the American people. Harrison's campaign showed Harrison as a man of the people, stating that he was the, log cabin and hard cider candidate. Ironically, Harrison had grown up in a mansion on a plantation in Virginia and had gone to an Ivy League school, although he eventually dropped out. On the other hand, Van Buren was the son of a Dutch tavern owner and never went to college. The Democrats stated that the 67-year-old Harrison was too old to be president and called him Granny. This was the first election in which campaign slogans were widely used. The Whig slogan was Tippecanoe and Tyler too, referencing Harrison's victory over Tecumseh near the Tippecanoe River in Indiana. The campaign also made a song centered around this slogan. The Democratic slogan was Independent Treasury and Liberty, making note of Van Buren's independent treasury plan. The results: Martin Van Buren became the third U.S. president to lose re-election and the first to not be a member of the Adams family. Whig William Harrison won in a landslide, winning 234 electoral votes from New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky, North Carolina, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Georgia, Maine, Maryland, Indiana, Connecticut, New Jersey, Vermont, Louisiana, Mississippi, Rhode Island, Delaware, and Michigan. Harrison won 1,275,390 popular votes, or 52.88% of the total. Democratic incumbent Martin Van Buren won 60 electoral votes from Virginia, South Carolina, Alabama, New Hampshire, Illinois, Missouri, and Arkansas. Van Buren won 1,128,854 popular votes, or 46.81% of the total. As Martin Van Buren did not have a running mate, Democratic electors cast votes for both Polk and Johnson, as well as former governor of Virginia Littleton Tazewell. Johnson won 48 electoral votes, Tazewell won 11, and Polk won 1. Liberty nominee James Birney won no electoral votes. Birney won 6,797 popular votes, or 0.31% of the total. William Harrison and John Tyler were inaugurated on March 4, 1841. Harrison became the oldest U.S. president at the time, beating out Andrew Jackson, who was inaugurated at 61 years of age. Harrison was the first Whig elected to the presidency. Alright, time for Week 1 history. On March 26, 1841, over 3 weeks after the inauguration, President Harrison developed a cold, which eventually developed into pneumonia. 1 month after his inauguration on April 4th, 1841, Harrison died of pneumonia. The following day, Vice President Tyler was informed of Harrison's death. Tyler went to Washington, D.C. Article 2 of the Constitution stated that the Vice President assumes the duties of the presidency once a president has died, resigned, or is otherwise unable to serve the office. However, there was a dispute over whether the vice president becomes the president or simply takes up the duties until a special election could be held. Ultimately, John Tyler was inaugurated on April 6, 1841. However, Tyler had only joined the Whig Party due to his dislike of Andrew Jackson. As such, Tyler went against many of the Whigs' nationalist policies. The Whigs ended up expelling him from their party, and the Whigs maintained that Tyler was not truly the president, with many addressing him as acting President Tyler. Alright, that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this entertaining and informative. Check out the Discord server if you haven't. Link is in the description. And yeah, see ya.